27.38. Not too bad.
Okay, here we go. We are getting started on the Pfiffner Traverse. It's another high route, so it'll be a mix of off-trail and on-trail hiking. We're planning to follow the primary route almost the entire way, maybe with a couple small modifications to make it work with the permits that we were able to acquire for campsites. We just left Milner Pass, which is our starting trailhead, and it's starting off with a bang. We're going straight up to the summit of Mount Ida. We're getting a little bit of a later start than we maybe hoped for, but it's around 3 p.m. and we have a relatively short day today, so I think we should be all right.
I don't know what's been going on, but I climbed like 1,000 feet and I'm like feeling worse than I've ever felt. So I think the altitude's getting to me a bit. Hopefully I get a nice long sleep at altitude and come back stronger tomorrow, but right now it's not a good time.
Okay, we're getting close to the summit of Mount Ida, and for the first time we are walking along the Continental Divide. We have reached the summit of Ida Peak, our first summit of the trip. It took a little longer to get here than I expected. I thought we were a lot closer than the last time I gave an update. But we're here, it's really pretty. There's a hint of blue sky in the background, but it's kind of gloomy all around us. Sean's up here with me, and then Siyoung should be here in a couple of minutes probably. So it looks like this is indeed the way down. It is horrendously steep, and then the primary route goes up that summit directly in front of us. Our campsite is somewhere over in this region, down by this windy creek. I think what we're likely going to do, because we're kind of running out of daylight, is make our way down to that pass, and then rather than go up the summit, we'll just go straight down and pick our way to our campsite tonight. Well, that's day one done. We found a really beautiful campsite near Onahu Creek. It was a hard day, not super long, but some difficult stuff. Hard climb up Mount Ida, hard descent as well. But I think we've set ourselves up for a good day too.
Good morning. So here I am in Danny's tent, Danny's sleeping pad, Sean's pillow, using Sean's backpack because my baggage was lost on its way to Denver. But the thing is, I slept pretty well. I think I'm acclimating to the elevation though. So, should be a good day. Just hope I see some sun.
I'm gonna come down here for our campsite, but our next target is up to that pass up there. The normal high route comes up and just kind of stays on the ridge, but we had to come down for our campsite. So, see y'all up there.
Okay, it's about 8:45 and we just made it to the top of Milner Pass. Sean just got here, Siyoung should be here in a few minutes. Then from here we'll head down to the lake, and then pretty soon we'll join up with the CDT. We're now in the CDT. I think the next 9 miles or so are on trail. We're about to go up to the actual Continental Divide. Right now it's beautiful. Sun's out, warm. It's nice. We're up on the divide now. The sun's out and it's really strong. So I've gone full sun protection mode.
It's really beautiful here. It's just so huge and so high up. Yeah, when I'm in a place like this, I feel so small. he obviously wants to be fed.
We just turned onto the Lake Nanita Trail. This will be our last climb of the day. I think we've got about 1,400 feet up to the lake if we decide to go all the way there. At some point, we're gonna get off the trail and find a campsite. Just before we turned onto the trail, we ran into a park ranger, first one on the trip. He checked our permit and he was very excited to see that we have a cross-country zone permit. I don't think he sees very many of those. So he was very excited to hear about our trip.
We're venturing now into passes and valleys that hardly anyone go into, so it'll be challenging, but it's always very rewarding. And the good news is I feel a lot better today.
Now it's our favorite time of the day. It's talus time.
Talus o'clock, baby. Boom!
We just made it up and over Beak Pass. It's about 8 a.m., so I think we're doing pretty well on time. We're not exactly fast, but we've just been going pretty continuously and we got a nice early start.
Supposedly this is probably one of the worst valleys in terms of bushwhacking and kind of nasty stuff, so we'll see when we get to it.
We made it down the bushwhack section. It was not great, but not terrible.
It was terrible.
Sean thinks it was terrible. Now we're going through a nice meadow, and soon we will be going up Isolation Peak Pass. We just finally made it up Isolation Peak Pass. It's a long climb, long approach. It's really windy up here, so I'm taking shelter behind this rock.
Yeah, so we just made it over Isolation Peak Pass. Don't know if you guys can hear me because it's windy as hell up here. So I'm trying to get down as soon as I can.
Already on, Wayne.
Well, I think it's mostly paradise behind me, but we're in a rush, so we're not going to stay here for very long.
We've reached Paradise Park. There's a nice little creek running alongside us. We are making our way towards Paradise Pass in the background.
Can't keep up with these guys climb up these mountains. My calves are too wee and little.
Okay, we just reached the top of Paradise Pass. It was one hell of a climb. Fairly short, but very, very steep. I think we made good time, but boy, it was exhausting.
Well, we're now officially, I think, in Indian Peaks Wilderness. That climb absolutely destroyed me. So I'm just gonna zombie walk my way down. I think we're thinking of having just an early dinner on one of those lakes down there.
It's a little after 4 o'clock. We just got down the long climb from Paradise Pass. We're going with a strategy of stopping and eating an early dinner on the trail to hopefully give ourselves enough energy to get up the next big climb, which is right over here.
Made it to the top of the peak. Benefited a bit from seeing where Sean and Danny went. Once you get past the tundra, try to stick right where the talus is. they went a bit left, and now they kind of have to navigate getting through this scree to make it to the pass. Yeah, the talus may look unfriendly, but it's a lot more stable footing.
We just reached the top of Paiute Pass a couple of minutes ago. Definitely the hardest climb of the trip so far, but that took us a while. We spent most of our remaining daylight on that climb. So I think we're going to make our way down and then find one of the first available camps. It's day 4 for us. It's just after 8:30. We've already been going for a couple of hours. We have officially decided to bypass Paiute Pass and the Northeast Gully, which are the most challenging features on the route. I think we're actually pretty well on track with our planned itinerary, but given we've got some potentially bad weather the next few days, I think that's going to slow us down. And so our general plan is cover as much ground as possible today. Doing the bypass will allow us to do that. And then tomorrow we hope to complete the final high section of the route in one long push.
So this is the spot. You go left, and that's towards Paiute Pass, Northeast Gully. Instead, we're going right, which will take us to the Continental Divide trail. I think if we did the primary route, we'd be coming down from this pass right up there. Ooh, it's a tough way down. That is a deer. Look how furry they are. Look how they're looking at us.
Well, we finally reached Caribou Lake. It's about 3 p.m., a little after 3 p.m. It did start lightly raining just a few minutes ago, which is pretty validating for our decision to bypass Paiute Pass in the Northeast Gully. Definitely would not want to be up there in the rain. We do actually have a permit to camp at Caribou Lake, so we may have a really early end to the day and camp here, or we may continue up Arapahoe Pass and find camp after that. As you can see, we've decided to end the day early and set up camp here at Caribou Lake. It's not actively raining right this second, but it is really windy. And my Garmin tells me there is still a chance of thunderstorms, so we don't really want to climb up Arapahoe Pass, which is somewhere in the background behind me. We also realized that tomorrow is actually a shorter day than I originally expected. It looks like we're only going to have to do maybe about 11.5 miles to get to our next target camp spot. So given that, I think we'll be fine camping here and ending a bit early today.
So I was about to sleep, but Danny just told me that there are 2 moose walking at the base of the lake. Gotta go check this out. Oh my god, this is awesome. So it's 5:30 a.m. The moon is still bright in the sky. It's still pretty dark. And there you can see our first target for the day, up over there on that ridge. So I got a head start from Danny and Sean. See if you can spot them.
We're getting started on day 5 now. First thing is an on-trail climb up Arapahoe Pass and then Caribou Pass. And then most of the rest of the day we'll spend walking along the divide. That trail between Arapahoe Pass and Caribou Pass was spectacular. Definitely one of the highlights of the route so far. We're now off trail again, making our way down to Columbine Lake, just stopping for a quick bathroom break and then getting on our way.
Well, that was crazy.
We're once again along the Continental Divide. First time in a while.
We definitely heard some thunder over that way, but it looks like the clouds are blowing away from us since we're going in this direction. Let's hope that stays true.
Okay, so that little storm that we were walking towards did actually materialize. We are currently sitting in a thicket of trees, feeling sorry for ourselves and trying to stay warm and dry.
Danny, how you feeling?
Pretty good.
You look comfortable.
Yeah.
Hobo chic.
We're finally moving again after about a 2.5 hour break. The storms never really got that bad near us. We heard a little bit of thunder in the distance, but we mostly just got some scattered light rain. For a minute there, we got a little bit of light hail, but nothing major. So now the sky's cleared up. We should be all set. I think we've got about 4 miles till camp.
Well, we got caught in a storm again.
We did.
So we're in a tent and just gonna wait it out. Hopefully we don't get struck by lightning.
Well, it was hubris to leave our patch of trees earlier, because not too long after, another storm rolled in. We actually saw some flashes of lightning this time. It looks like it's mostly cleared up, and so we are proceeding with some haste.
Never been somewhere like this. It's kind of amazing. Our route for tomorrow should be splayed out right in front of us. We're gonna climb each of these. James Peak, Mount Bancroft, Perry Peak, Mount Eva, and Mount Flora. That should be a pretty exciting day. But first, gotta get to camp and dinner. Look at these pictures. That rotary snowplow from 1904. It's unbelievable what they used to be able to do. So I decided to take the only detour of the trip to go see this ancient Native American hunting blind. Tell you more about it when we get there. Soon we just take a quick right. Now you can see it looming up ahead. I think you can sort of see a series of these, 3 of them. I'm sure you think it probably doesn't look like much, just a pile of stones. But I think it's a really special piece of history. They created a series of these, 45 of them, as a way of funneling prey into the awaiting hunters. Over 3,500 years ago, someone with conscious intent decided to place this rock right here to build this. I mean, that's about as ancient history as you can get in the US. And as I'm coming down here, you can see a whole series of them stretching across. It keeps going even farther down that way. All right, well, I'm now officially back. Gonna take old Boulder Wagon Road to our campsite and to dinner. See you tomorrow.
Well, we are in the morning of day 6 now. We're getting easily our earliest start of the trip. We're getting on the trail just a tiny bit after 5 a.m.
This is my earliest start ever.
Yeah, we're starting super early because we've got those 5 13,000 foot peaks today, and there are chances of thunderstorms in the forecast. So we're hoping to get up and down before, I don't know, maybe 1 p.m. Okay, we're about an hour into our day now. It's finally getting a little lighter out. We camped at Riflesight Notch last night, which is just off the divide. So we're beginning our day with a couple mile hike back up to the divide. And then shortly after that, we'll be hiking those 5 peaks.
This is pretty cool. Behind us, you can kind of see the entire traverse laid out in front of us.
Okay, we just reached the summit of James Peak. This is our first of 5 peaks today. We're gonna wait a few minutes for Siang to get here, take one more look at the weather forecast, and then make our final decision. This is our last easy bailout point, where we could take a lower route and dodge the weather. Otherwise, once we start going towards the next peak, we're pretty committed to doing all 5.
It's 8 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, there's a 30% chance of thunderstorms. So we're trying to bag these next 4 peaks in the next 4 hours. Up next, Mount Bancroft.
That's the summit of Mount Bancroft behind me, which is the second of our 5 summits. Turns out there was a pretty easy contour around the summit, and I elected to do that just to move a little faster.
I am now officially at the top of Mount Bancroft. There's Perry Peak up ahead. Danny and Sean decided to skip this peak. You can see them up ahead maybe.
Just arrived at the summit of peak number 3. This one is Perry Peak. We're getting tantalizingly close to the end now. We can see most of the route laid out in front of us. I think we're in good shape.
So now I'm on top of Perry Peak, which is the high point of our trip at 13,373 feet. It's also the highest I've ever been in my life. I wish I had longer to stay and enjoy it, but gotta outrun the thunderstorm. All the water that drops this way to the west goes to the Pacific Ocean. All the water that drops this way to the east goes to the Atlantic Ocean. The Continental Divide is where that splits. So it's a pretty cool place to be on top of, geologically speaking. We're here. Where are we?
4 out of 5. Summit of Mount Eva. Got some weather rolling in. Don't love that. You see Danny down there. He's getting antsy to get off of the divide, but you know, we're here. It's in God's hands at this point with the weather. Yeah.
Let's get down to Danny before we piss him off.
I'm now just past the summit of Mount Eva, which is peak number 4 out of 5. So I'm just hanging out by whatever this structure is where it used to be.
Here we are, wave high guys. Our final summit, the summit of Mount Flora. Just in time as this dark cloud rolls over everything we just climbed. What an amazing sight.
Okay, so we're done with the Pfiffner Traverse. We just finished, got to Berthoud Pass. You might be wondering, why are we standing in the woods right now and not at the parking lot? Well, it's because of course we have our bikes waiting for us, and now we have a 70-mile bike ride back to the car.